Perfect. We are live. Hey, folks. So welcome back into the Farm Sim Show. It's not back, and I guess you're just coming into the Farm Sim Show. But today we got something a little bit different. There's no mods to be released, so I think... To
be fair, there were a few, but I slept in today, and I woke up to a couple messages. Hey, DJ, mods. I was like, cool.
Was there really anything worth talking about in depth?
Not in this video. So we're going to do something else.
Let's rank all the DLCs that's come out for Farm Sim 22 so far today, and we'll find out maybe which ones are worth picking up and maybe which ones you can pass on if you agree with what we think. I don't know. That sounds like a loaded question, to be perfectly honest.
Yep, just like loaded baked potatoes, we all have our opinions, and today DJ and Clutch are going to express theirs.
It's bacon is always the answer, just so you're aware.
You know, I don't like sour cream on a whole lot of things, but I like it in a baked potato.
I've been told you like sour cream. Thanks today for our sponsor, G-Portal Game Servers. Let's just kick off into it. Well, guys, it's a new year, so it's a perfect time for us to talk about G-Portal Premium Game Servers. So why exactly do I use G-Portal to host my multiplayer games? Well, guys, that's easy. They get you online immediately. They have the easiest to use server management system. And of course, they have that top-notch 24-hour, 7-day-a-week support. G-Portal Game Servers have up to 25 gigabytes of mod space, and they are cross-play compatible, which allow PC and console players to play together. So pick up your G-Portal Game Server today. Use the link down in the description and get 10% off right now. Ooh, shiny. Shiny.
That was brand new.
Brand spanking.
Had actually nothing to do with me that time.
Everything has to do with you in some way, shape, or form. Let's be honest.
It's only because I make it that way. Speaking of, I have some thoughts about Farming Simulator DLCs. I'd love to share those with you.
Please. I want to hear all about it.
All right. I thought we were just doing the thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to actually share something beforehand.
Nope. This is just the main topic.
Oh, me. Well, I'm glad we discussed this beforehand. All right,
great.
Tell you what, I'm going to set you up to start with. I'm going to let you start up. So I'm going to switch over to my other screen quickly, so we could do our rankings.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Oh. I knew what button it was. We're good.
There you go. That's good. I mean, I do like the keyboard faces everywhere. It's so good.
You got yours over there. I was like, ooh, mine's gonna be sneaky keyboard.
It is. I almost want to stick him a little bit further over, to be honest. Like we
could just like that. Moving on. What do you got for me? What do you got?
Okay. Well, so we've got all the DLCs down below. We're gonna rank them from our S tier, so the absolute pinnacle, the top notch, the best, all the way down to K-bot level DLC rankings. We'll see what ends up where we end up picking things. We haven't discussed this, of course, beforehand, so we'll find out. Let us know in the comments what you guys think, if we got them right, if you guys think we messed up completely and think something should be different, let us know. But let's, instead of going straight into the DLCs, I think we should rank Farm Sim 22 on what you think, where it should rank on this as a whole.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna be controversial.
Ooh, look at you. See,
but
where are we gonna put it?
I'm gonna stick it at A tier.
A tier. Okay. Why? What's your reasoning?
Because if it had to be S tier, that means that it was perfect and nothing's missing.
Okay.
However, there's stuff that I want that's missing.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that it's still not great. It's a good base for everything else that we're going to talk about. So you know what? A tier. Slap.
Okay. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I'm going to lower it one more. I'm down to B. My reason is I don't think it's different enough from Farm Sim 19. And that's where my comparison comes in. I'm thinking, you got 19 up there, and it was a big change from 17. And I'm like, oh, they should have they could have really pushed it to 22. And I feel like, I don't want to say they mailed it in. They didn't do that at all. Like, there's some new features and some really nice new adds to the game, but at the same time, I think there's a lot more room for improvement.
Fair enough. I've got it at A tier because for me, Farming Simulator 17 was S tier. However, there's a massive amount of nostalgia that has to do with that. Honestly, I think I probably would put Farm Sim 19 around B tier.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe I just have higher expectations, DJ. I guess maybe I'm just that guy.
You're that guy. All right. Well,
all right. Want to move along?
Yeah. What's the next one?
Do you want to go first on this one, or you want me to go first?
Ooh, you go first. You made me go first last time.
Okay, so we've got the AGI pack, which was an interesting one, right? Because this bad boy was free.
It was free.
This was free. It's a free DLC. So automatically that's going to push you up a couple ranks, right? Because you get it for free.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, it doesn't have that much in it, really, does it?
No.
So I'm going to put that once again at a B tier. It's free. You get to make seeds, which is kind of cool. Base game, you can go and make seeds now with that auger. You get what, the shop, you get the silo system. But is it really even like, okay, it's a free DLC, so you can't really complain that loud, really. Come on.
Yep. I am putting it on the same level as base game.
Oh, wow.
For very similar reasons.
Okay.
It is free. It wasn't crazy. It didn't add all this new stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? It enhances the game from where it's at, and it costs you this many monies. So I feel like it's on par.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that.
I foresee me putting a lot of things in S and A tier.
Really? I thought you were going to be a little more critical than me, but I guess oh, wait, never mind.
fanboy.
Fair enough.
All right. So
I do like I said, going back to the AGI pack, that auger, like making seeds, is kind of a cool thing for farms. So I might have to give him credit there. That was a good idea.
It's pretty cool, but I will also say, if the one thing you remember from a DLC was how cool the auger was.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right. So let me hit you with this.
Yeah.
Antonio Carrero.
The funny thing is, okay, do you want me to do this one first, or are you gonna go first?
No, I'm gonna go first, but I'm gonna call you out a little bit. This one was so popular that Clutch skipped the Farm Sim show the Friday before it came out to go to work, and I had to do a live stream with Driver 53. So where would you put Antonio Carrero, Mr.
Interesting.
Netchy Poo?
I don't know. I thought you were going first.
I am D tier.
You're putting a D tier. Okay.
Yeah, now, that is not Antonio Carrero is not how you say welcome to Farming Simulator 22. Here's your first DLC.
Okay. I see your D tier down there, and to be honest, I would think the week after this launched, I would have been in the same boat. Even like 6 months after. I was like, oh, come on, really? Like, this is the first DLC we got. This is the first DLC we got for FS22. And I was like, The funny thing is, as time's gone on now, I feel better about the Antonio Carrero pack. And I don't know if it's because of the DLCs we've received in some degree, or if it's like how far back now we are and removed from the release. So I'm actually bumping it up one.
Are you bumping it up one because the bar has been lowered?
Maybe, and that might be it, to be perfectly honest. I still like the fact there's a bunch of tractors in there. There's a whole slew of tractors, and it's a $10 DLC. It's a fairly big pack. Yeah, it's equipment you don't necessarily use a lot, but at the same time, I'm like, it's when I compare it to everything else that's come out, sometimes I'm like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought maybe.
Yeah, that bar got lowered. All right, Mr.
This one, I'm gonna have trouble with the next one, just so you know.
Perfect. You get to go first.
Oh boy. So we've got two. Well, we got one free, one paid DLC. Now we've talked about.
Yep.
We're already moving back into a free DLC, which is fairly recent. The Emergencies pack.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. This is a really difficult one for me. I've messed with this. I don't think I've played to its full potential. It's tough. Like, it gives you scenarios. You got, like, doesn't it technically include the fire trucks and stuff, does it?
Yeah,
it does include them, doesn't it?
It's got a fire truck in there. It's got a fire rescue vehicle.
And it does come with a bunch of like the placeable stuff.
It's got a couple placeables, not a lot, but it's got like a couple things that connect to the truck. It's a pretty cool.
Oh man, I struggle with this one big time, because this does this opens up a whole new way of playing Farming Simulator, and
it does.
It is a struggle. Like, I'm definitely thinking it's above our base tier. And the fact it's free. It's free as well. Is it a mod? Is it a DLC?
Ooh, now that's a fun one.
I'm going A tier. I have to. It brings way more to the game. It has a cool bunch of stuff in it, and it's free. I think I don't know what else I can say about it.
I'll show you what I think about it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. B tier. Any reasons different from mine?
Yeah, but like for the same reasons.
Okay. No, it's the same reason.
You said something very important there, where you feel like it was underutilized.
Yes. At least for me.
Yeah, and for me as well. And I think for a lot of people, it's underutilized because it's kind of like side missions and side quests on the main game. You still kind of want to play the main game, but the side quests are fun. So you do them, maybe not all the time, but kind of for fun.
Yeah.
Also, it released on PC only first.
True.
And not on all platforms. And after the conversation we had in the last podcast, if you missed it, go check that out. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't add that to the equation.
Interesting. That's an interesting thought process to factor that in.
And it hurts even worse because I was one of two people that got to sit down with the people that made this and record videos before anyone knew about it. Sorry, Jackaroo. Love you, bro.
That hurts.
Yeah. So for me, that's why it has to be B tier.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So we're going to get into some controversial ones, I think, right away here.
Oh, no.
We got some mini DLCs coming at us pretty quick here. First off, the Euro Grape Liner Series 7000. DJ, I'm going to let you go first on this bad boy. This is a tough one.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, this is a real tough one. Where are you gonna put this bad boy?
This is gonna be. I mean, it's so easy. It's my first C tier.
It's the first C tier. Okay, so you're ranking this above the Antonio Carrera pack.
Yes.
Why?
Because I didn't get as much clashback in the comments about this one, even though it costs money. It was a lot easier to stomach, I guess. I don't know. I remember seeing, well, I guess it's out, so I could talk about this. I remember seeing Giants talk about this when I was over hanging out with them a couple years ago, and they had it bundled with a beacon, so you could get the beacon and this at the same time, which I thought was kind of cool. It added a new piece to the equipment to the game, but I didn't like that it was a DLC item. It's just one thing. I mean, you've got AGI pack, an emergency pack here that I've ranked above this because I think more effort went into those than this.
And that's where I'm looking at this as well. I'm like, okay, where do I put this? It's definitely a lower tiered one. In fact, it's one piece of equipment for $2. Boom. Get down to K-Bot tier. I'm sorry, I can't. It's not even a piece of equipment I'm going to use. Like, I might use it once because, like, let's be honest, is the grapes harvesting, is that really a big part of Farm Sim still? I don't think it is. Are you talking as a DLC right now? Is that what you're doing?
I'm just moving myself up a little bit.
Okay.
We get enough K-Bots, we can see his full face. Right now, he's got his nose.
He's got everything going on there. Anyways, I think it's bottom tier for me. It should have been a free DLC in my mind, or included with something else. I don't know. It just doesn't.
It was, but not here in the United States. Not on this side of the pond.
And that's maybe the bias we have because we're on this side. I don't know. It seemed bizarre.
All right, here's a bias.
Okay.
I want to do the Case Farmall Anniversary Pack. Recent mod that just came out that I had a rough morning trying to get this video recorded. First off, it didn't release on PC, only on console, which was really interesting.
That's tough, isn't it? That's tough.
Partners didn't get codes for this to do reviews, nor did we get early access to do reviews. So immediately I was like, what am I doing here, guys? And then it costs money for 2 tractors. It seems like a contractual obligation more than something pro players.
Okay. So where are you ranking this thing then?
Well, the problem
is... Are you going to
make
me rank it first? You're just going to sit here and talk it all up?
I'm going to talk it up a little bit. The problem is the first tractor I ever learned how to drive was a Farmall.
Okay.
So it's tough for me. But
fair enough.
Excluding the rocky start, I I'm going to give this one still a solid C because I think it was something that should have been free.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not in disagreements. In fact, I was thinking, you know what? I'll just put mine in the same spot. That's exactly where I was thinking it should be as well. It's a classic piece of equipment. The fact that is it still only for PC?
No. The case
now, right?
The case. So it's all platforms. Yeah. The thing is, it's in the game. So if you're on PC, there are ways.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Just saying, but like originally the launch came out just for PC, and the launch.
No, it was only on console.
Or was the launch? You had to go through the website, or I can't remember. It was weird though, wasn't it? The launch was weird for it for some reason.
The launch was weird. Yeah. The PC codes didn't work.
Anyways, it was a bit of a messy launch, which I know you can't really rank a DLC on the way it was launched, but can you? But the fact the equipment you're getting, like I love the farm all. Even the little case, the 140, like it's a fun little tractor to use. So but once again, and it is what $1.50, $1.50 for it.
Yeah, about $2 US.
It's not that. I mean, you're paying $2 for the grape Euroliner, right? Like so. Yeah. It's still I think the launch was probably the most disappointing part, and the fact that it came out right after the premium DLC too, like the day of. That was kind of weird.
Day of, couple days later, something like that. It was just, like I said, it just didn't fit.
No, it was a weird launch, and I think that's maybe more the problem. Like if it would have been released today, everyone would be like, "Oh, this is cool. We get some new DLCs." But the way it launched and it was kind of messy. Yeah. Anyways, I put it S tier or C tier, I should say. I agree with you on that 100%. I think that's a fair ranking for that.
What's next?
Oh boy, do you want to move into this one? This is a bit of an odd one as well.
I was shocked to find it on this list.
Well, it's on the website. It's listed as a DLC. So this one is just the bonus bundle, the Giants bonus bundle.
Mm-hmm.
This came out at launch of Farm Sim 22. It includes 3 pieces of equipment. What you have? The Black Anthem, you have the Fent 9000, and what's it, the Zetor? Yeah, the Zetor is
the little Zetor 25 or whatever it's called.
Yeah, so you get 3 pieces of equipment with this. It's $2, and it came out at the launch of Farm Sim 22. Now, I think if you got a pre-order, this was included, correct?
If you got a pre-order, I believe this was included. You could. There were a lot of people mad because if you pre-ordered from one place, you got one thing, but if you pre-ordered for somewhere else, you got something else. And then
there was codes being passed around to everyone that could work for anything anyways.
Codes being passed around and that kind of thing. And if you're on PC, you could just, do some things. So it's really hard to rank. The
equipment itself, like I would be willing to rank the equipment itself up to like a B tier potentially. Like I like the Mac Anthem. I like the Fent.
Yep.
The way they released this again puts it way down. I'm putting this as a D tier personally because I'm upset with the way they released this once again. It was like they weren't clear about how it was released, and it's like, oh, sometimes if you buy it from this supplier, you get this piece of equipment. If you buy it from this person, you have. So in a way, they made you think that you had to buy every 3 different copies of the game to get the whole thing originally. It was weird. Anyways, the equipment itself, I put as higher, but the way it was launched brings it down to a D tier for me.
So in a similar way, but not really, I'm going up to a B because I can't be a hypocrite.
Yep.
I'm sure I've been a hypocrite 20 times already in this video, but I use the Fent 900 for doing basically any testing that needs a tractor.
Okay, fair enough.
So I use that. The Mac, I'm a little unhappy that it doesn't have all the customization options.
Yeah, it's weak, isn't it?
It's very weak, and so my trucks sucked when the game came out. There's no other way to put that. And I don't really use the Zetor, but there's some people that do, so that's cool. But yeah, I give it a B.
How are the Fent, how are the customizations on the Fent? Is there much? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I mean, if you want to change the wheels or the engine, that exists. You could change the rim color. That's pretty cool.
Okay, that's some different all platforms, especially early in base game. Essentially, that's not bad. I'll give it credit there.
Not bad at all.
You know what? After talking about, I'm gonna move this up one. I'm gonna go up to C. You've talked me up to 1. It's not quite a D. You're right.
I moved it.
I moved it. You moved it. You talked it up a little bit for me. And I'm putting it up to C.
And that actually unlocks a superpower that you didn't know existed in this game till just now.
What?
Yeah. tilting K-Bot's head ever so slightly to the left.
Oh, look at that! Super. No one wanted that.
Yeah,
no one asked for that.
Little sneaky booger, ain't he? So,
yeah, I'm gonna move on from this after we looked at K-Bot's eyes there, and we're going to this one's gonna be a little bit easier, I think, for you.
Is it? Oh,
well, it's not gonna be easier to pronounce, but it's going to be easier to rank, I think.
It's only gonna. It's so easy.
I can't pronounce it. I'm so bad.
Go wheel.
Grubal.
Go wheel. Wheel. Why would it be a W-E-I if it didn't wheel?
I'm so bad at pronouncing it. I apologize. What are your thoughts on this? This is a $10 pack. I can't remember how many pieces of equipment it comes with, but it comes with a few.
There's quite a bit. I'm just so in between B and C. I don't think this is K-Bot level because the detail's really good. Yep. It allows us to do a few things, which are pretty cool. So I think it's more deserving than D tier. It gave us stationary balers, which is super cool. And you can modify them in a way where you could just make it continuously make bales and store them in those bale thingies that came out at the same time. So it's useful, right? Yep. And then there was a lot of things that had to be updated. So in order for something to work, it had to go with this. So I think I'm going to go C, because you had to update maps in order for bales to work again. How do you let that pass?
It was kind of strange. That was,
Changelog 1.3 added support for Gerbal pack. Why?
It's bizarre because it doesn't seem like it should be a baler. I was confused on that one as well. The fact it brings, it is very difficult to me, because if this did not bring a new function or a new gameplay mechanic into the game, I would have been down possibly K-Bot level, maybe D tier. But it does bring a new thing, like a new way of playing Farming Simulator. So I do have to at least bring it up to a C. I feel like a C is fair. It is a $10 DLC. I feel it's a little on the pricey side for what you get out of it at the same time. So I can't put it up all the way to a B. But yeah, you know what? It's still kind of fun to use, and it does have there's quite a few little pieces of implements and stuff that you can mess around with at least. Yep. But like I said, the launch was a little weird in the way the maps work. But anyways, I'll put it as a C as well. My C tier, middle of the road, unfortunately, is getting big right now. I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a bell curve, man.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do about that. You can put anything in the world in here, and it's
that's just it, right? You got to compare what's the tippity top of what your expectations are down to K-Bot, and it's gonna be you're gonna get that.
Like I said, I would have given this a B tier if it was just a little bit more useful and less dependent on having updates. Because you can wrap new things. Remember this. You can wrap TMR. Yeah. You can wrap cut sugar beets with this. So it's really neat and it's super useful. But I
did forget about the TMR, to be perfectly honest. That is true as well. So that definitely solidifies it as a C tier DLC for me. You're right.
It is solid.
All right.
I'm ready to rename the D tier DjBot because I feel like it's not as bad as K-Bot.
Ooh. I don't know about that, but anyways.
Yeah, we'll move on. You want me to go? You want to go?
Do you want me to go first on this one?
I'll let you go first. I'm interested to see what you have to say.
All right. So we've got, what do we got? You want to introduce what the pack is?
Yes, it is Alpine DLC V2.
The hay and forage pack. Oh man, this is a tough one. It's what, $10 for this pack?
It's so easy.
You know what? It is easy. You know what? There's a gaping hole right now on my list, so it makes it super easy for me. But once again, there is some useful pieces of equipment, but it seems like this was just all remade from Farm Sim 19, and well, look at that! It magically appeared. It's a D tier, unfortunately for me. $10 DLC. It doesn't really bring anything new to Farm Sim. It does have some kind of fun, redeeming qualities, like the little truck with the hay pickup and everything. You can the interchangeable back commands. That's kind of fun to use for a couple minutes, but other than that,
if it was a B tier, you wouldn't have forgot what it was.
You're not wrong.
Yep,
you are not wrong. I don't know. A D tier for me.
It's a D tier for me as well. I really like the one thing that came out with it, the windrow.
The windrower.
Yeah, remember the part where I told you if you forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking through everything on there as well. There's nothing on there that's like, oh yeah, this is great.
If they had the huevos to call this Alpine version 2, I would have put it in C tier just to be kind.
To be one thing, I think this DLC did bring for us was the walk behind mowers.
Yeah, but it was already a mod on PC.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone else like it wasn't available in the mod hub even as a mod right before this. No. And then as soon as this DLC came out, did it open it up for modders to allow them to start doing that?
You know, if it was a C or a B tier, we'd probably know the answer.
You're not wrong. You know, it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but you're not wrong.
It is such a filler DLC. It's not even funny. It almost seems unfair to charge for it.
It does. Yeah. If I'm looking at my ranks as well, I feel you're not wrong. All right. Fair enough. Moving on. I think this one's going to be pretty easy as well for you. I think we'll see. Next up, we've got the what are we going to call? What did they call this? There we go. The Horsch Aggro Evasion Pack. Did I say that right?
Also known as Horsch V3.
The V3. You're right. V3. And that makes it a little bit controversial, right? Like there's quite a few pieces of equipment. 14 pieces of equipment come with this: seeders and planters, plows, cultivators.
Yep. But what if I were to tell you that it doesn't reuse anything from previous Horsch DLCs?
See, that makes it different because, this was free. Essentially, there was a Horsch pack in Farm Sim 19 that was completely free.
Which was
there one in 17 as well?
There was, but it was paid. That was the first Horsch DLC.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, it's a tough one.
The one that was in 19 included everything from 17.
And that's it's so difficult to rank something based on price because this is a $10 DLC, so this is the same price as all our other main DLCs.
Yeah.
Do you base it on the fact it used to be free for one game? Do you rank it based on that? What do you think, DJ?
Man, it is super tough, but here's what I'm gonna do. Going A tier.
Yep.
And I'm going for a couple reasons. There's new mods, new equipment, not as much as I would like. We're getting less and less stuff for more and more money, but that's the world that we live in. Even Farm Sim has inflation. We got a new map. Granted, that map looked good. There was so much detail on that map, and the map was good enough for me to do like a crazy buying all the fields and everything video, and it did really well. Again, the channel has benefited greatly from the what came with this DLC. So I'd be a hypocrite if I put it anywhere else. I was excited to see it, kinda, but after it came out, I was like, this is completely different than I thought it was going to be. It's an A tier. It's definitely one of the DLCs I think you need to have.
I 100% agree. It's an A tier DLC. I use this a ton in anything I do. For the most part, all the planters and seeders are great. One of my gripes with this, however, it wasn't part of the year 2 DLC pack. What
was it?
It was not.
Oh,
right. Like what? I struggle when Giants does this thing where and this was a big DLC. They put out these year 1, year 2 packs, and then they put a whole DLC pack out that's not part of that whatsoever. Now, granted, they tell you you're gonna get 4 DLCs. Yes, I get that, but in a way, I always get a little upset when it's like, okay, I'm expecting to, when I buy a year 2 pack, I'm gonna get everything that's coming out in the next year.
You kind of think that. That's definitely something that would be really nice to know. And
I argue that this might have been the best pack of the year, and it was not included in the year 2 pack.
I'm looking right now. It looks like it was included.
I don't think it was it? Am I wrong? The season pass on that?
I mean, it's on the thing.
Yeah, it is too. Never mind. I'm wrong. I must have been thinking of something else. It's on there.
You were probably thinking of Pumps and Hoses.
Maybe Pumps and Hoses? I thought Horsch Aggravation wasn't part of this pack.
Came out July 25th.
You're right. It's on the list, so I am wrong. Giants, to forgive me, I'm wrong. It puts part of the pack. Get the year 2 seasons pack then for this.
I'm just going to keep that as a source. We'll refer to that later.
Yeah, it's on there. I just checked it as well. It's definitely on there.
But
so there you go.
Maybe it wasn't as important enough to make you think that it was, but there's something else that you're going to look at it later and be like, oh, that was it.
I still like this pack. This is I'm looking through the list on stuff that came with the year 2 seasons pass, and that's my number 1 for sure. Yeah. That's the one DLC I would say is a must have.
Next one I think is I think it's gonna be the first on one of my categories.
Oh, weird. That's interesting.
Yep.
You want me to go first on this one, so you can save that. You can save the suspense for a second.
Sure.
You did go first on the horse. We're up to the Kubota pack. Up to the Kubota pack, and this was what, the second DLC that came out?
Second or third? Yeah.
Second.
It was
You're
around.
getting. I'm trying to remember exactly how many pieces of equipment you get with this. You get quite a bit, actually. You get what, 4 tractors?
4 tractors. Yeah.
Plus,
6,
the nice
7,
thing
8, 4,
with this, there was the mod pack that was released, what, like a week after this released, that was all Kubota branded equipment as well.
I was very fortunate to be able to do a lot of testing with that. Iconic, one of my favorite modders that did just insane stuff for Farms of 19, reached out and was doing stuff. I was like, oh, anything I can do to help, man. Just let me know. Please.
Iconic did a fantastic mod pack that worked great with all the Kubota stuff. So you get all the extra implements as a mod pack for free that you could use with your Kubota DLC pack. It's a $10 DLC. It was part of the year 1 DLC pack. This is the one I'm putting down as an S tier. Obviously, I did a bunch of content with Kubota. I'm a bit of a Kubota fanboy. I love the fact that we got a whole new brand in the game, and there's some good tractors. I mean, nothing huge, but it's the brand. That's what they have. So I'm S tier for me, especially when you consider the fact that you got the iconic DLC pack right afterwards. I know you can't really compare or consider that part of the DLC itself, but yeah, I have to look at that as well in some way. Where are you putting it? Yeah, you're filling that up as well, are you?
Yeah, filling that up. Dog, I own a Kubota. What are you talking about? The GR 2020, baby. Gardy Rider.
I was going to say, you don't call it the GR. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Everybody, when I call it, they're like, what are you talking about? Nah, man, I love this thing. I love this DLC because I love that mod pack so much. They both work well together. You could use the 8 series with 210 horsepower, whatever it's got. You can use that with the dual mowers in the mod pack, which require less horsepower, so that the M8 can run it at the same time. So cool. I'm super excited to see if somebody can bring in the M9 that I think was recently talked about.
I have not even seen the M9 in real life, so is that a thing? I didn't even heard of this, to be honest with you.
I'm doing a quick search for it to make sure that I'm not just talking out my butt. I swear an M9 was a thing. It was an M9000.
There was an old that was the last generation was M9000.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an M9.
Maybe that's
I don't think they've announced that yet. If there is,
I swear I saw something about it. It's like it was there for a minute and then they wiped it from my memory and it was a dream.
Yeah,
anyway, love it. I finally just paid off my mower. They're a little expensive, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Love my Kubota in real life. I got it before this DLC came out. What's up? I'm just.
Are you trying? Listen. I'm the Kubota guy. You can't go and start taking my wing here.
You know,
stand on my wind.
I know I go to literally every other event.
Yeah, exactly.
You know how jelly that I was that you got to go to Kubota Connect.
Yep, I'm just saying.
So
stay out of my wind, DjGoHam.
I'm still mad I didn't get to go.
Stay in your lane, bro.
Well, I'm going to the UK in a week. I know
I'm a little jelly. Don't get me started. So you know what? Since you're doing that, I'm going to make you do a controversial one first. DJ, tell us about the Oxbow pack and where you think the Oxbow pack should be ranked.
Sure, man. So excited about this, brah. All right,
you get 4 pieces of equipment. It's $5.99, $6 US. Part of the year 2 seasons DLC.
It brought us our first multi-row fertilizer sprayer.
Yep.
Well, more than 2 rows.
Yep.
We'll do 5, I think, is what it'll do because you drive over one of them. It also, it also does for the self-propelled manure spreaders, 2 of them, which are also self-propelled slurry spreaders, which is cool. It's got the only windrow that I would just not be able to live without.
Okay.
But you can't make a DLC and make me go, really? That's the one we're gonna go with. So it's a C tier because it's meh.
Okay.
It's what the kids say these days? It's mid.
Mid.
C's mid, right?
Yeah, C's mid.
All right.
All right. I don't disagree with you. I think it's definitely a mid tier to some degree. The nice thing is it's 4 pieces of equipment. It focuses mostly on grapes, with once again something I don't really do a lot of in Farm Sim, and that's just me. Like if you do grapes, hey man, all the power to you. It's Farm Sim. Have the way you do what you want to do, but it's something I don't do a lot of. And I'm quite honestly, I'm just like, it's just more equipment that I'm not going to really use. So I'm putting her down at D tier.
I'm gonna have to move K-Bot's face. I agree with you completely, 100%. Let's bring him down.
Tough, right? Like it's
like that.
It's a tough DLC. Like it's close to moving up if it had one more piece of equipment that I use more regular, but it's 4 pieces of equipment. And it just doesn't feel like it belongs anywhere else other than D to me, because it's not something I ever really use for the most part. So there you go.
Meh.
I know, meh. It's if it's mid or below it, that's for sure. All right, you ready to move on? You want to talk about that more? You good?
Yeah, let's talk. Didn't deserve it. Let's move on.
All right, we're moving on. We have the Platinum or the Platinum Expansion DLC. It came out last year. This is another tough one in a way that you might not be expecting.
Yeah.
I mean, this really pushed logging into a new realm. You got an amazing new map. You got quite a bit of equipment on this. As far as DLC goes and the map itself, I'm putting this A. It brought forestry into an area where I never thought I would enjoy forestry as much as I did, and the map is amazing. This is a potentially even almost S tier for me, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, if there was a S tier, I'd put it there, but it's definitely going A tier here as well. It's one of those where if you buy the game, you kind of want to have this.
Yeah,
you want Platinum Expansion. I got to drive some of these pieces of equipment, like the wheel loader in this picture. I drove that. Yep. I did the thing where I picked the things up and I got to drive it around. Oh man, people of Volvo, by the way, I want to go back to Sweden. I loved it so much.
There is a lot of equipment in this pack, like equipment that you get to drive. Like it's not just little implements, little knick-knack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone. I don't know what that means, but anyways, there's just not a lot of fluff in this pack. I found like it was a lot of good stuff, and you have to put it up high based on that. Even if you don't like forestry, and like this is something you still need to have, I think, in Farm Sim. Give this a shot. You need the equipment, and the fact it is a little bit expensive because it is one of the big DLCs. It's a $20 DLC pack. That does make it a little bit tougher to swallow in a way, but at the same time, I think it's still worth it for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, what was it, 30 40 pieces of equipment plus if you rode the roller coaster, was it 100 times, 10 times, or 100 times? Something insane. Then you had heavy lift on your game save.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that map still is. That's if we were going to talk just DLC maps, that's an S tier map in my mind. Yeah. Like that might be the best. That might be the best map that Giants has ever done.
And it's so weird as well.
Isn't it?
Weird. Yeah,
it's a farming. It's a logging map, and I mean, yeah, sure, you could put more fields into it, I guess, but at the same time, like the actual detail, it's so good.
It's so funny that you mentioned logging, because when we went to Volvo, they didn't tell us why we were there. They didn't tell us pieces of equipment. They said, go have fun.
Oh, you thought it was construction it was going to be, didn't you?
I thought we were going to be doing construction. You could go back and watch the vlog that I did that I had to hold on to for, what, 5 months, 4 months?
Yeah, you were there for a while.
And so I thought we were doing a digging DLC, one that we could finally dig into the ground. And, you know,
by the way, Giants, can we have that, please? Come on, next DLC, do it.
That's why Farm Sim 22 is the base game's in A tier, not S tier, because we can't do everything I want to do. Anyway, when I remember talking to Lars the day before the DLC, and you know, partners got to see some video stuff, and we were like, oh, this is very cool. But before that, I remember talking to him. I was like, you know, people are really starting to think there's a logging DLC. And he's like, well, you never know. I was like, please tell me it's not a logging DLC. And he's like, I mean, you know, you find out tomorrow. I was like, if it's a logging DLC, I swear. And it was a logging DLC. I was like, I'm totally cool with this. This is awesome.
It worked out. I was skeptical, and it ended up being it's my favorite DLC pack. Yeah, as far as the big DLCs go, for sure, it was cool.
For those of you at home, we've only had 2 of those in the last week.
Yeah, there you go. Well, okay, ever. Let's go with ever.
Let's go with ever.
So, we'll move along. Let's this one can be a little more controversial potentially. I don't know how you feel about this. We never really discussed this pack or this DLC.
I'm really mad about this one.
Okay, let's talk about the Porsche Diesel Junior 108. DJ, where are you going to rank this bad boy?
I don't want to give it K-Bot. I really don't want to give it. I'm going to do my best not to give anything K-Bot. But man, it is. I mean, it's got to go in D tier. Here's the reason why. Because I've got the stupid Revel model from the German European Amazon. Paid $30 for it. Paid another $30 to have it shipped from Europe to the United States. And in the time that it took to go from there to here, Giants released it as a DLC.
Oof.
And the only way you could get this was to get it from that pack that was a code in it. But it turns out it was in the base game the whole time, and you could just unlock it. So not only am I mad,
the launch was weird for this as well. You were right.
I took this one personally.
I 100% agree. And this came out, didn't this come out with the Platinum expansion? Or right after or before or something?
I'm actually not sure when it came out, but
it was right around that time. It was a weird launch for this one as well. One tractor for $1, and it's not like the funny thing is, if this was a John Deere tractor, I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever, it's fine. It's a Porsche tractor that I don't get, and it's something I don't really understand in North America. No one really has these in North America, so it's like, oh, it's a K-Bot tier for me. I'm sorry, it's something I never use. Don't care. It's $1. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Weird launch. Anyways. All right. Do you want to move on to something? This one's going to be an interesting between the two of us, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think it will be.
This is going to be interesting.
I may have to speak for the viewers here instead of just a personal opinion. I'll give you both. How about that? I'll give you both.
Viewers and your opinion. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So,
do you want to introduce this for us?
This is the only DLC with precision in the name.
There's a lot of P's.
And furthermore, this is one of the DLCs that's also a mod. And the game had to be updated to support it, which makes it a DLC, I think. The precision farming DLC. Now, here's the deal. If I gave it for the amount of use it gets on my channel, it would be K-Bot. Not because it's bad, but because I really don't use it that much. And then I used it, right? Used it, got used to it, that kind of thing, played with it, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I like the way you could do certain things. This is neat. I would have given it a B tier. But then it allowed me to not do some of the things I wanted to do, which pissed me off, which I would personally, in my mind, give it a B tier. Because I don't think that's being too rude. I think my viewers would give it an S tier. And if I used it as much as my viewers, I would give it S tier, but it's going in the B tier. I hope that wasn't too much. I met you in the middle.
All right. Fair enough. You met me right in the middle. Once again, this is an absolutely free DLC. So that factors into it. It brings new gameplay mechanics into Farm Sim. It brings in the whole new, it allows you to make money easier. It makes the game a little bit easier, I find, in some ways. You got to spend money to make the money, mind you, but free equipment, free. I don't know. The fact that the mini map, you can see what you're fertilizing, what you're liming, like that's a cool feature to me. This is a solid A tier, especially since you're considering it's free. I have no the one thing actually that I might have put this as an S tier, but with the fact that our latest platinum DLC or premium DLC doesn't support it, brought it down a little bit in my mind, unfortunately. And they haven't updated it yet. I don't know if they're ever going to update it. It just feels weird to me that it's not supported by a brand new DLC that's out. Just saying.
Well, that is a wonderful segue because I'm curious what you think about the recently released premium DLC expansion, mind you, premium expansion, aka Rudy Crops.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. We got brand new game mechanics. Once again, you get a fair amount of equipment, not nearly as much as the platinum, mind you. You get new crop types, which I have to admit I was not terribly excited about, but I've definitely changed my mind once again on this one. Giants has done a pretty good job at changing my mind on where these should belong. Once again, though, this is a $20 DLC, right? Like I think it's $20, right?
Yeah, but it is a game expansion, so
it is an expansion.
It is meant to expand on what the game itself
That's
can
what
do.
you say that. It's all DLCs. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but like, you know, these are things that we would expect to see hang over to the next game. Because game expansions from 19 came over to 22.
So on launch of this, I was putting this down a C or maybe a D, to be perfectly honest. I was not excited about root crops. It's a Polish map. I was like, this is just not like from the imagery that we saw in the videos. It didn't really look like my thing. After playing this for probably about, I don't even know how many hours, 50 hours now we probably have in game, I probably actually got to rank this up a little bit higher. It's not A tier to me, but I think a B tier is fair for this for sure. I think it's right in line. Some new crops are cool. You got the like ridging is kind of a neat new aspect for fertilizing fields. It's a solid B for me.
It is a solid B for me, but for different reasons, and actually different reasons. So I'm starting to look at this list, and the more and more I look at it, I'm kind of drawing a line between B and C.
Okay.
Everything above, like B, is like, you know, you should at least try it. And if you should at least try it, B, like if everyone should try something, it has to be in B for me. And I've noticed this. I've been micro judging this whole list since we've been started. A is something that I think everyone should have, and you should have it all the time.
Okay.
And then S is like, really? Like, we thought you already knew this. Just go get it right now.
Just do it now.
Quit watching the video. Why are you even watching right now? Just go get that and then watch our first looks on it. But I'm so tempted to put it down in C, because C level for me is if you look at it and you've watched all the YouTubers and Twitch streamers content on it and you're like, you know what, I think I may like that. That's what C tier would be. So I'm back and forth. I may have to move K-Bot's face a little bit more because I just don't think everybody needs to try it once. I think everybody needs to listen to people like me and you say, you know what, I wish I would have something, you know.
There's nothing in that pack that really makes the rest of Farm Sim better, like in my mind. Like, yeah,
it definitely could have been just like a root crop DLC.
Yeah,
I don't. If it didn't have the map, then
the map, it's a good map. It's not nearly as good as Silver Run, but it is a good map still.
Yep.
The interesting part to me on the DLC itself, or the expansion, is how weak the buildings were.
Yeah,
that feels like it was a missed opportunity to me.
And maybe it's like that in real life in that area. Obviously, it's based on a fictitious, but you know, very, I say loosely, I'd say heavily based on you know, the European style and that kind of thing. But yeah. No,
I had higher expectations after the Platinum DLC. The buildings we got with that pack, by comparison, it was just a little bit weaker in that sense. That's all.
Yeah. If it didn't have a map and the DLC was $10, I think I would have rated it as like a B tier.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it would be something to be like, you know what? I think everybody needs to have this. But yeah,
fair enough.
With precision farming, not working on it, and I think precision farming means a lot more to people than premium expansion does.
Fair enough. All right. So speaking of stuff you may or may not need, DJ, tell me about Pumps and Hoses and where you're going to rank that bad boy. The Pumps and Hoses DLC. This is a tough one because this is definitely one that was not in the year one season's pass.
Yeah, I already dropped it.
There was that drops it for you, does it?
No, I already put it on the board. It's a S tier.
Oh, okay. Why do you put it as S tier?
Because at the time, or at least last year in year one, this was the most popular DLC on my channel. More people used my code to buy that than any other DLC last year.
You know what? I can't argue with you, man.
Now,
There's
it wasn't
something about the way, like, it brings a total new set of features into Farm Sim. It's something you need to try.
Yep.
It may not be for everyone. As part of the problem, I do have a tough time putting this as S. In fact, the more I think, I had to drop it one. I'm gonna put it down to A. I'm bringing it down to A because it is something that not everybody's going to need to use every single time. It's not something they're like, oh yeah. This is a Pumps and Hoses farm. Like the Kubota pack, yeah, you can use a Kubota tractor on every farm. With the Pumps and Hoses, it's like, yeah, do you really need to drag pumps or your hoses around on your 1,000 acre farm? No, you're not going to use. You're not even going to use that. So,
but you know what you do need?
What do you need?
Modular BGA, baby.
You know what? It's a cool feature. Once again, it's one of those things I've used a couple of times, but I don't use it all the time either. So
I have to force myself not to use it because by habit, using the BGA system in Pumps and Hoses is that, like, I think this should have been 2 DLCs. I think that Creative Mesh, who also made the emergency pack, by the way, I think they sold themselves short. I think they should have made the VGA system, maybe put Caster in with it too, and sold that, and then done a hoses. Like
I'm definitely not complaining about the equipment, anything in this DLC at all. I think it's all cool. The way the hoses work can be a little bit tricky. Yeah, it's a little interesting for sure, but it's a really cool feature, and I'm still hoping we see more with the physics of how the hoses work with irrigation and something like that. Like I was hoping that always that this would lead to something else. Yeah, and maybe down the road we'll see that, but it's not quite an S tier for me because I don't think absolutely everybody needs it. Yep. But I think it's definitely something you should try.
I think everybody absolutely needs this because you will benefit greatly from using BGA.
I like how you've brought me onto your tiering scheme now on how to do this. It's not good for me. It's bad.
Yeah, but it makes sense. It's sensical. And that's why there's nothing in KBot, because it would be burn it down. That would be the KBot level.
No, we got these ranks. I'm putting stuff in all of them. So,
but yeah, you heard him. You can quote I'm putting stuff in all of them.
I'm putting stuff in all of them.
Simulations.
I can't even go any further than that. Let's talk about the next one. We got the Vermeer pack.
Put this somewhere.
Oh, this one's a really tough one because I do like the brand that's brought in. It's brought in because Vermeer was never a brand in Farm Sim, of course, before this, right? Yeah. It did bring in one new kind of piece of equipment, like the picture you can see actually on the DLC. The self-propelled baler is interesting, but once it was out, I never used it after that. I used it once because it's so expensive. It doesn't make sense to buy it, to be personally, in my humble opinion. So for those reasons, not exactly the biggest pack in the world. It is only $7.99, so it is a little bit cheaper than some of the other DLC packs, but it's not something I use a ton still. I'm going to rank it down to an SC tier because of that.
Woo! I'm going to give it a B tier for the exact same reasons.
It's tough. It's right on the cusp between B and C for me. But see, I look at this is what I'm looking at. You're looking at the Gurvile pack right beside it.
Yeah,
that's a $10 pack. This is $7.99.
And that's the thing as well, comparing against your others. I think more people, our viewers, Western American, North America, whatever you would call it, I think more people should try the Vermeer pack than
you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I have to listen to reason on this one.
Let me give you one more reason, just
it
to
has to be
make sure
there.
that you put things in all the places.
And I'm looking at the Antonio Carrera packs in my C tier as well, and I'm like, it's above that for me, so it has to be B.
Yeah, so it has to be B. But here's the thing: do you think any of your viewers, maybe some, I'm sure there's somebody out there, but if it's you, I'm not talking about you. But do you think if your viewers would download a mod just because it was a Gurvile mod?
No.
Do you think that some of your viewers have downloaded the Vermeer Tedder and the Vermeer Chipper because it
was a Vermeer? Yeah, that's a good. You know what? That's an interesting reasoning right there for sure. Yeah, and it does have, like I said, you do have Vermeer branded equipment. Does it bring anything really new to the game? Not really. I don't know how many people use that self-propelled baler for anything, but
Gurvile didn't bring any new branding into the game.
No new branding, but it brought new features.
Right, but Vermeer,
it is
an annoying self-propelled baler.
It's very annoying. I agree, but it's to do with some people like using it. But apparently, I don't know who likes using it, but it's not me. I thought I'd like it. I don't. But it is something that's real and it's in game. I like being able to wrap like the TMR when I forgot that you could do that with the Gurvile pack. The wrapping of TMR is something that I do like doing. I think that's a cool extra little feature.
No, it's too late.
It's there.
Gurvile is already in there.
Gurvile's already in there. Fine. You know what? We're locked in. It's in. All right. GoHam.
All right.
Last one.
All right.
You get to rank the Volvo bundle. Really?
Doing it quietly. Here's the reasoning. If you pre-ordered the Platinum expansion, you get one of those pieces of equipment. If you pre-ordered the year 2 expansion, you got the other one. They came with the DLCs. If you just pre-ordered the stuff, you'd already have them.
Okay, but people right now who are looking at trying to buy DLCs and are looking through this list.
If you're going to get Volvo, these are not the 2 Volvo pieces of equipment to get.
All right, so if it wasn't a pre-order, if you had to buy this today, would you rank that in the same spot?
Yeah. These are not the Volvo mods to get. All the good ones are in the other one. Like, that's a cool tractor. Yeah. But, like, I rate it at the same level as the Zetor. I was going to give it a B tier because that DLC's in there, but we're locked in, and I don't think it's as good. I like the wheel loader. I'll give you this. I like that wheel loader a whole lot, but I like the other one better because I got to sit in the other one in real life. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So it's in the middle. I got my bell curve. Let's go home.
I'm down to D. It felt weird once again. I don't like the... No, if you pre-order this, you get this thing for free. But if you don't, you got to pay an extra $1.50 for...
Yeah.
That kind of irks me a little bit. I don't like that. And so I rank it down a little bit based on that. And it's only 2 pieces of equipment for $1.50, both of which you don't need because you're getting them kind of... It should have just been included in the premium DLC for me personally.
Yep. If you buy everything, you don't have to get this. But if you don't have the Platinum expansion and you want... It's just,
I am a little bit surprised looking at our lists. How come I have all these A tiers compared to you? I've got, well, one more. It's an interesting little comparison here, huh? Interesting.
All right, how about this? Let's take out everything that's free.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So take off everything.
Everything that's free?
How do you?
I kind of want to save this, but
how do I take this off?
I don't think you can once it's in place.
Ah!
Oh, I did something. It's gone now.
Oh,
it's disappeared. I lost one. Premium DLC I took off. It's gone from somewhere.
How'd you do that?
I don't know where it went. It's gone. I don't know where it went. It disappeared on me. Anyways,
can we add a new? Add a row below.
That's a good idea. Okay.
There we go.
How'd you do that?
I clicked the cog and I hit add row below. So we're going to take away everything that's free, including the AGI pack, because that doesn't count either.
Okay.
Emergency pack. Precision
all the free stuff?
farming.
Holy shnikes.
Taking away precision farming. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, it's only the 4 things, right?
What else am I missing? I think I got all of them. Yeah, everything's gone that was free.
All right. Now,
did you take out Farm Sim itself? Farm Sim 22?
Yeah. It's the game.
Yeah.
So now look at our things. Now you said you had all these things in A.
Yeah, you're
now
right.
we both have 2 things in A.
Yeah, you're right.
So here's the thing. Clutchy Poo over here is a chill. He likes free stuff.
I like free stuff. Give me some more free stuff.
We both have between S, A, and B 6 different things. Though yours are a little bit different. In C, I've actually got more things than you do in C.
I'm harsher on the lower end for sure.
You're harsher on the lower end, and I'm more excitable in the high end. And I think that's what people need to take from this is when it comes to the low end, it's all about you, and I'm all about the high end.
That's one way to put it. Let's not put it that way.
One thing. We learned so much today.
Oh, bad. So there you go. If you guys agree with our lists, don't agree with our lists, let us know your rankings. Heck, you can go. I think this should be public. Actually, maybe we'll check this on Tier Maker and put your own rankings in.
Yeah, share us with your rankings.
Yeah, love to hear it down in the comments. You can drop it on the Discords as well for either myself or DJ. But I'd love to hear what you guys rank all of these. And I'm hoping we get a couple more DLCs because I'd like to put some more on this somewhere, especially up in the S tier. I don't know if that's going to happen.
No. Do. You think anybody's going to release an S tier DLC 1 year before the game's supposed to come out? Which, by the way, we don't actually know that. We're just going off of trends.
No, I don't know that.
But come on. We all know. It's Farm Sim 25, right? Has to be.
Gotta be.
It has to be. If it's not, we're going to look like idiots like we did a couple years ago with, here's the top 100 things for Farm Sim 21. That aged well.
Aged like a fine wine.
Yeah, and that was poured into a bathtub.
All right, should we wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up. I don't feel comfortable about what I just said. Thanks for tuning into the show. Let us know what your rankings are. Check out some links in the description if you guys like coffee, which I've been drinking some Farmer Cup coffee cold today. I'm about out, actually. I bought a 5-pound bag of the Thin Blue Line. I like it that much. I bought a regular bag and then a 2-pound bag, and now I have the biggest one, the 5-pound bag. It's pretty good. Check it out.
Go check it out. Link in the description. Of course, thanks to our sponsor, G-Portal, for sponsoring the Farm Sim Show. We'll be back again maybe the next week or so. Make sure you subscribe to the channels, both DjGoHam and myself, Clutch Simulations. Check us out on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and we're on podcast form as well. Just search up the Farm Sim Show on any of your favorite podcast forums, and you'll find us there. And we will see you guys in the next one.
What he said.
You can click the video.
I'm gonna let you do it.
Oh.
We didn't talk about this before. This actually lasted 3 times longer than we expected it to.
Oof. Eesh.
It's a good time.
Where's yours? There it is. All right.
Bye.
Thank you to G-Portal for sponsoring this episode of the Farm Sim Show podcast. They host premium game servers for Farming Simulator 22 that work on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Clutch and I have both been working with them for the past few years, and they have hosted our public and private game servers ever since. If you're looking for an easy way to play multiplayer with your friends, this is the best way to do it. G-Portal servers allow you to have full control over your game, what mods are installed, permissions, and the game can be available 24/7. For Farm Sim 22, they've got a few different server options from 4 players all the way up to 16, and you can get an extra 25 gigabyte of mod space. Choose between 9 different server locations around the world to host your game, and you're ready to go. If you're interested in grabbing a game server for you and your friends, use the link for Clutch or myself at the top of the description and get 10% off all G-Portal game servers right now. Again, thank you to G-Portal for sponsoring this episode of the Farm Sim Show podcast.
Did you ever notice in there that it's got, Clutch's refer link at the beginning, but it's that, mosaic thingy I did with K-Bot. It just looks like you go. Is that what it sounds like? It doesn't sound like that. Picture doesn't make that sound to me. I did have a question for you though. Why don't you guys rank best bots in Farm Sim? I think K-Bot would be an S tier bot. We'd be S tier at the very tippity top, the best bot. You know what's funny? You must have not been paying attention because those idiots had a level that was literally called K-Bot. It was the worst. No. That doesn't mean if you're ranking us comparatively to DLCs. I'm saying bots. We gotta rank the bots, and I think I'm an S tier for sure. S is what does S stand for? Is it super? Super something. Yeah, super PC is what it is right now. I think it's special. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think I'd be right up there. And then DjGoHam. I don't even know where DjGoHam bot would be. Let's be honest. It probably wouldn't even make the list. I would be in the D. You'd be in the D, all right. For DJ. Get it? Oh, that's exactly where I was going with that. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. You should quit being a C tier. I'm mid. I didn't you say that there's a mid? What does that mean? Mid, it's okay, so there's high and low, but there's that area right in the middle. That's mid. Right? I'm glad you explained that to everybody today. Thanks. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna tell somebody I learned what mid was because I made up the definition. Oh, are you the one we have to thank for making up all the slogans nowadays? Are you down with the tip jive? Down with the jive. What are we, 80 years old? This is the 70s, bro. Maybe you remember the 70s, but I do not. Okay?